Salute, Silver Jab. What's good with you, bro? LDTB, salute. Marcos Cano, salute. Jay Good, salute. Rico Shore, salute. What's good? Hey, listen, I got my brother Kurt is on, but salute to my brother Ticket TV in the building. What's good? Kev Harris, Show Enough Slaps. Miss TTUK, peace and blessings, Queen. Young Sneed, my brother Jay Good, Hard Body J Timo, Rex Jamal, Underground Asylum, salute. Hey, listen, I got my brother Kurt Sugar on, Kurt Anderson, aka the historian. He's on, but he's on. You're not gonna see his picture, but I want y'all to make sure y'all can hear him because he's on the line. He's just not on the stream, right? Go ahead, Kurt. See if they can hear you, Kurt.
Hey, what's going on, people? Can y'all hear me? Check, mic check 1 2.
Can y'all hear the brother Kurt? Let me know if y'all can hear Kurt. I want to make sure y'all can hear Kurt. Man, I got a pimple right here. My brother Buddy Lee loves seeing. Buddy Lee, what's good, man? Yeah, they say they can hear you, Kurt.
Okay, good, man. I want to apologize. I have data problems on my plan, but it'll be rectified by next week. But there's more than one ways to skin a cat. So hey, I'm coming through the phone, and I just had to be on the show. So Blue came up with the idea, and we're gonna rock and roll for y'all.
Yeah. So we here, man. Yeah, they said they hear you loud and clear. So we good. We're gonna have a special guest. The topic today is Errol the True Spence Jr. accepts the rematch with Showtime Shawn Porter. He said, let's run it back. Let's do it. I'm a shark. He said, it's strap season. It's whatever. Then we're gonna have a special guest calling in at 6:30. A rising star prospect by the name of Jalen Walker, man. Kid is a beast, man. If you haven't seen him, go to his Instagram. It's Jalen Walker _1, right? Check him out before he come on. If y'all got a chance. Jalen, JALEN, Walker, WALKER _1. Jalen Walker _1. Kid is a beast, man. Absolute beast. He's from Los Angeles, California. He's gonna go the route of Devin Haney. He's gonna be going over to Mexico and having fights over there in Mexico. So we're gonna have him on the show, man. He should be calling at 6:30. After he gets off the line, right? We're gonna have the call-ins after that because we have the phones tied up. So after that, we will be having the call-ins for you guys to chime on in. But before we do that, let's get to my brother Kurt Anderson, Kurt Sugar. What you think about this week with Triple G and Gennady Golovkin? Gennady Golovkin and Sergey Derevyanchenko. Then we got Jaron Ennis, and we got the GOAT, Carissa Shields. So what you think about this week's boxing, Kurt?
Oh man, it's my birthday on Saturday, man. So this is a birthday present. Derevyanchenko versus Triple G at the Garden, man. I think I'm getting into that later. Who's going to win? We got the GOAT, Carissa Shields, man, and plus we got my favorite prospect, Jerron Boots, in it. I can't wait to see him. The kid is so advanced, athleticism, skill. He's a meteor, man. He's just a meteor right now, and hey, I'm looking forward to a second great week of boxing. We got a lot of fights coming up in the month of October, but first things first, Saturday night, Triple G, even though I think he's a good fighter, but overhyped, yes, but I like watching Triple G. I'm not going to lie. He's fun to watch because he's an action fighter, and Derevyanchenko should be a stiff test. So I'm excited, Blue, man. I can't wait for Saturday. I can't wait.
Yeah, man. I'm with you, man. Going through everything I went through going to LA, you know, I almost forgot about this week, man. You know, so much hype and so much energy was expended dealing with the Shawn Porter Errol Spence fight. I almost forgot about this week's of boxing, man. It almost slipped my mind. That's how exciting that fight was. That's how action-packed that fight was, man. I nearly forgot about that fight and about this week's worth of fighting, man. You know, when I came back is when I saw my emails telling me don't forget to come to, you know, the open workout, which was today. I wasn't able to make it, but I'll be at the press conference tomorrow. And then you know, obviously the weigh-in and things of that nature. But until I realized and saw the email, I kind of forgot about it, to be honest, you know, because
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm sorry, Blue. I'm so excited, man, being back.
Yeah, no
Listen, I'm excited. You know, that's what boxing, you know, that's the compelling part of boxing, man. The anticipation of a big fight when it lives up to expectations. It has, you know, it just has this. It makes you like to a zombie. I was washing dishes, thinking about certain, you know, rounds of the fight, man, and you know, don't be surprised that it'd be a trilogy because see you know, you look at Mayweather and Pacquiao, their styles didn't mesh. The anticipation was great, but the fight itself was a dud. Then you look at Trinidad and De La Hoya, another fight, the anticipation was great, but it didn't live up to the hype at all. You know, it was anticlimactic, you know, but you have somebody like a Shawn Porter and an Errol Spence, the anticipation was big, the fight exceeded expectations, and you know, it's just, you know, it leaves people saying clamor for more. And that's what, you know, two lions is all about, two rams button heads. I mean, great job by Shawn Porter. He looked like Henry Armstrong and Roberto Duran, the way he was spinning off the ropes. And Earl is a dog, man, because Earl was hurt in that fight, man, and he was poker face. And, you know, I know he was hurt, but he kept fighting, man. And both guys are true champions. So we won. Shawn Porter won because he did his stock went up in a loss. And Earl got another belt, you know, and in general, boxing won. It did 300 plus for what I'm hearing. Now, Earl said he's going to take his daughter to Disney World right back in the gym. And on January 25th, you're going to see Earl and Danny Garcia, I think, at the Barclays Center.
Yeah. But you see, Earl accepted the rematch with Shawn Porter. And he said that, and he's back on. He put up videos of him back on the treadmill, back in training camp already. And he said that he's a dog. He said he's a shark. It's strap season, and he said to Shawn Porter, "Let's run it back." He tagged Shawn Porter, "Let's run it back." So he looking like he may sidestep the Danny Garcia fight and go back into a rematch with Shawn Porter. What you think about that, Kurt?
I think it's an excellent move because I'm gonna tell you why. When you have a fight, you know, that is intriguing and leave the people wonder who won, or it's a close competitive fight, you run it back because you build off the first fight. You build momentum, and the pay-per-views will be through the roof. You know, they could probably double 300-something thousand. They may get 650,000 the rematch because now people are interested. You know, and when you have people interested in something, you know, that's what boxing do. Boxing grabs you by the throat, even a casual fan, and be like, look, you missed the first fight. This is a rematch, you know, order the fight. That's why I'm mad at Tyson Fury, because he made a debacle out of what could have been a great rematch between himself and Wilder, you know, and you know, but see, Earl is different. Earl is aligned because Earl wants that rematch. Earl saying, listen, people doubting me, you know, let's run it back. Sort of like Mayweather and Castillo. When people say, oh, Castillo beat him, and, you know, people don't know Floyd had a bad shoulder, but he never used it as an excuse. He could have, like, ran from Castillo and be like, nah, that's okay. But he gave Castillo a rematch and beat him more decisively. So, you know, that's heart right there. I like to see fighters do that.
Even the Maidana fight. Remember the first Maidana fight, people were saying that Floyd lost, it was a cheat. He ran it right back.
Absolutely, Blue. And remember, that first Maidana fight, he said this is going to be a different kind of fight, meaning he's going to stand there and brawl. People forget that, but what we talk about is a rematch. So, when fighters have tough fights and they don't want the smoke, I look at them side eye. But when fighters like Errol Spence, who was in a brutal fight, reminded me of Carmen Basilio and Tony DeMarco in 1955. Lou Matthews versus Danny Nardico. Those are tough welterweight fights, man. And Earl wants the smoke. Earl's like, I want a rematch, man. That's great, man. They'll do 600,000 pay-per-view next time.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with him. I'm in agreement with you, bro. I think that was a hell of a fight. I think that us as fans, only thing we could do is win. Regardless of how. And see, my thing is this, Kurt. Errol Spence, because I see people saying it's going to be like Madonna, Mayweather Part 2, or Mayweather Castillo Part 2. I don't think the fight is going to play out that way because styles make fights, and Shawn Porter is not going to give Errol Spence the opportunity to fight at range, at distance. He's just not going to do it, and Errol Spence's skill set won't offset Shawn Porter's skill set to force Shawn Porter to give him distance, if that makes sense, right? Floyd Mayweather had the ability, to choose the box at range, pivot, the footwork, the speed, to force Maidana and Castillo to have to box, right? He chose to fight them the first time. Well, in the first fight with Castillo, like you stated, he had a torn rotator cuff, so he had to fight in the pocket. But in the second fight with Maidana, the first fight with Maidana, he chose to fight Maidana in the pocket. The second fight, he just said, "Listen, right after the fight, just like you said, Kurt, I'll give him a rematch. It ain't gonna look nothing like this fight." Remember he said that, Kurt?
Yeah.
yeah. I'll give him a rematch, but I'll tell y'all what, it ain't gonna look nothing like this fight. And he said it. He said, I can't win for losing. If I fight him on the inside and I give y'all what y'all want, y'all complain and say that I lost. Now, if I box him, no, what he said, y'all say I lost and say that I lost a step. Remember that? He said, y'all say that I can't box. I lost a step. I'm getting old, right? He said, now the second fight, when I outbox him, he said, it ain't going to look nothing like this fight. Give me my props. Give me my props. And what they do? They didn't give him his props. Oh, it was boring. He ran. Even Maidana, remember? And Robert Garcia. Oh, all he did was run. All he did was be on his bike. Well, I thought you forced him to fight to fight in the pocket the first time. So why couldn't you force him to fight in the pocket the second time? Because he allowed himself to be in the pocket. That's the difference. Errol Spence didn't allow himself to be in the pocket. Shawn Porter forces you to be in the pocket. And I can tell you another thing, right? If Shawn Porter had fought Floyd Mayweather the first time, it would have looked a lot like most of Shawn Porter's fights. I think the only guy that can make adjustments against Shawn Porter would be Floyd Mayweather because his quick feet with his quick hands. None of these guys right now, today's time, have the skill set, the complete skill set that Floyd Mayweather have to offset Shawn Porter. They don't have quick feet with exceptionally quick hands and a high ring IQ and enough snap on his punches to keep you honest. They just don't have that. What you think, Kurt?
Hey, that's excellent what you just said. I'm gonna piggyback off that. Let me tell you something. Mayweather has certain intangibles that you're born with. He know how to win. When you look at Floyd Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali, their careers are very eerie, similar, because they knew how to win. Sometimes they didn't have the A game, but they just knew, they grit a fight out. Muhammad Ali did it. Sugar Ray Leonard did it. Floyd Mayweather has that intangible where, Sugar Ray Leonard said to people about Floyd Mayweather, Floyd could beat you on his B- game.
Mm-hmm.
He said that, and that's true. There's a lot of fights that Floyd had gritted out. He didn't win on talent alone. When he fought a guy by the name of Carlos Hernandez, when he broke his hand, And that was a knockdown because his hand scraped the canvas, but it was in pain, not because he got hurt. Victoriano Sosa,
Mm-hmm.
was a tough fight for him because he was long, and Floyd couldn't get inside and he couldn't penetrate his defense, but he won on grit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's ring IQ, it's moxie, it's savvy. And when you look at the great fighters in the past and present, they have that. And a lot of fighters today don't have the moxie and savvy. Terence Crawford has some of it.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to see him against a better opponent. Then I can assess it better. But Floyd had that moxie. When you see a brilliant fighter. I followed Floyd since the amateur days, and I said, man, this dude's going to be a great fighter, man. You can see it, and when he beat Corrales, you can see it even more. But it's like when he got hurt against Mosley. A lot of people would have been knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't panic. He held. He closed the distance. He held. He got hurt again. But he remained calm under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't. No coach. I don't care if it's Eddie Futch or Harry Wiley Sr. or Nacho Beristan. You can't teach that. That's a fighter has to have that in his heart.
Mm-hmm.
And Sugar Ray Leonard had it against Tommy Hearns. A lot of people would have lost that fight, the first fight and the second fight, which he did lose. So it's skill, but it's intangible, and it's called moxie. It's called savvy, and the best fighter is the most comfortable fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, absolutely.
And I see a lot of people saying Terence Crawford. If y'all comparing Terence, and I love Terence Crawford, and I love his skill set. If you think anything remotely his skill set, his speed, his ring IQ is anything remotely close to Floyd Mayweather, you're sadly mistaken. You guys don't understand how fast Floyd Mayweather was, right? You guys are used to seeing him stand there in the Philly shell or, in the shoulder roll or, and just taking his time and plucking at fighters. You got to be kidding me. Terence Crawford couldn't touch Floyd Mayweather as far as speed, as far as foot speed. None of that. Cut it out. Floyd Mayweather was nothing short of Gary Russell's speed and with the high ring IQ, and the footwork was exceptional. Man, you guys are kidding me. And he had enough pop. He had knockout power, but he kept having those brittle hands and hand problems. So he just didn't sit down on his punches. After a while, he just started winning on points. He just chose to win on points. But if you think that Terence Crawford hand speed or Terence Crawford ring IQ, Terence Crawford get hit far too much to even compare. The defense, are you kidding me? Not even close. What you think, Kurt?
Man, I love Terence Crawford. Is my favorite fighter. He reminds me of Mike McCollum, the moves, throwing the right hand, stepping over to the right, throwing the left hook simultaneously. But Floyd is on a different level, man. He really is. You may not like him out the ring, but I studied Floyd, man, and I used to shake my head in disbelief the things he used to do. Like when he fought Canelo, he tapped both his gloves and hit him with the jab. That's I'm laughing because the dude was magnificent, man. And Terence Crawford can get, you can hit Terence with the straight right hand. He doesn't judge distance that well, like he should. I mean, he could box like he did against Victor Posto, but to compare him to Mayweather's on a whole nother level, man. He's the last special fighter I've seen. Andre Ward retired undefeated. Joe Calzaghe retired undefeated. Ricardo Lopez retired undefeated, and they all great fighters. But Floyd is special. You got good, you got great, and you got special. Floyd is special.
Right. Chase the Coin said Gary Russell. Then he said, yeah, okay. Chase the Coin, you don't know nothing about boxing if you think Floyd Mayweather is anything short of Gary Russell, bro. We got our special guest calling in, so let's get him on the line. What's good with you, bro?
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? I got you on the line, man. We got about 180 people watching right now. I got my co-host on the line as well. I'm gonna let him. You can introduce yourself to the people, but I want to introduce you to my co-host first. My co-host name is Kurt Anderson. We call him Kurt Sugar, and you could call him the historian. Man, this dude is a boxing historian. Yeah, he a boxing historian. So go ahead, Kurt Sugar. You can introduce yourself. That's Jalen Walker. We got him on the line right now.
Hey, Jalen Walker, man, nice to meet you. When I'm finished with the show, I'm going to check you out because I've been in boxing for 45 years. I can break down fights and fighters, and I'm going to study you, my brother, like a neurosurgeon. And I heard good things about you, and I hear you got that shining star in your back, man. People talking about you. Blue told me about you. I'm gonna go to your Instagram afterwards, man, and see what you bring in the ring. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, and I'm gonna get to know you.
Man, appreciate
And then, absolutely, brother.
So Jalen, you could go ahead and introduce yourself to the people, man. I've been talking about you, man. I've been raving about you, man. Ever since I saw your highlights, since you showed me your highlights, man, I've been raving about you. I truly believe he reminds me a lot of Shakur Stevenson, man.
Oh man, I get that a lot.
Yeah, he always as soon as I saw the highlights, man, I said, man, you remind me so much of Shakur Stevenson. But go ahead and tell the people a little bit about yourself. How old you are, what weight class you fight in. Just give a little breakdown of yourself, where they can find you and things of that nature.
Well, my Instagram is Jalen Walker _1. My name is Jalen Walker. I'm 17 years old. I'm from LA. I fight at 122, but I'll be moving up when I'm older. Probably like 126, 130 in a few years.
Yep. You can find them at Jalen Walker _1 on Instagram. Right? He got some highlights up there, man. I saw some highlights of him sparring. You can see some sparring highlights. There's some sparring footage of him up there. Sparring professionals, so on and so forth, man. The kid got all the goods, man. As soon as the first video I saw of him, I said he got the goods, man. And I got a good judgment of boxing character, man. So he definitely got the goods, my peoples. You know what I mean? But so are you signed to anybody or anything like that yet?
We're in the works. My coach, he's talking to some people, some management team that we're working on.
Mm-hmm. And what gym you training out of?
I'm training at the Y in Carson, California.
Mm-hmm. And so you what if we see a lot of young guys, like we see Devin Haney, we see a lot of guys that Floyd Mayweather started that, promoting yourself. Is that a route you looking to go, or you looking to sign with like a Top Rank or the Zone or something like that?
I gotta look at it. If it makes money, then yeah, but I gotta look at it. It would be cool to sign with Dagger because I don't have the experience to promote myself. So I just don't want to do something because it seems cool. I want to do something because it's right.
Mm-hmm.
So if I look into it and learn how to promote myself better, then yeah, I'll become my own promoter.
Now, what's your amateur record right now?
I have 121 fights with 113 wins.
Wow.
Won 3 national titles, Silver Glove Nationals, 2 silver medals at the Junior Olympics. I just won the Blue and Gold Nationals a couple weeks ago. So I've been fighting since I was 8 years old. Been competing since I was 8.
Yeah, and so I remember you was telling me that you planning on going over to over to Mexico and getting some experience a la Devin Haney did, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Tijuana on the 26th of October.
Uh-huh.
And I'm ready for it. I'm supposed to be sparring Joel Gonzalez in like a week or 2.
Yeah, a lot of people are telling me that you look like a baby, man, and they're saying that in the chat room. They're saying you look like a baby, but I tell you what, man, you look at his highlights and look at some of his clips on Instagram, man. Far from a baby, man. Yeah, he He definitely look young, man, but I definitely see
everybody thinks I'm younger than I am. They think I'm 14, 15.
Right. And now he's been sparring, man. I saw a clip. I don't know if it's up on your Instagram, the one you showed me when you're sparring a guy. I believe he was 10-0, the professional.
Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah, so man, you guys could check that out, man. The kid is an absolute animal, man. You know, and we had a huge week of boxing, man. So I want to ask you anything you want to ask him, Kirk, before we get into some other things.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions from Mr. Jalen Walker. What is your best punch, and what are you currently working on? Your best asset, is it your footwork, your ring IQ, left hook, right hand, or combination punching?
IQ, because I can figure out fighters pretty quick. If a fighter is getting the better of me, I can figure it out and turn it around. Not too much surprises me. And right now, I'm currently working on going to the body, but set it up nice and not get caught in the middle. And you could say one of my best assets is my jab, because I know how to jab to the right, not the southpaw real good.
Yeah, that's another thing, Kirk. He's a southpaw.
Oh my God! Okay, I love southpaws. And another question before we go on: what fighter do you emulate or follow, or who's your favorite fighter fighting today or all time?
I have so many fighters. It's more than one. Sugar Ray Leonard, Pernell Whitaker, Roberto Duran, Julio Cesar Chavez, Floyd, Chad Judah. So many fighters that could go on and on. Like growing up in boxing, I always try to imitate certain styles.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Blue.
Yeah, so did you obviously there was a big fight in your backyard. Shawn Porter, Errol Spence, man. Errol Spence being a southpaw, you know, what did you think of that fight?
I think Shawn Porter, a lot of people are shocked, but I knew that it wasn't going to be a walk in the park for Errol Spence. I knew that he was going to have to dig down deep to get this win. So it was a good fight for boxing. Some people are kind of mad at Spence, saying he's not as good as he is. It's just that Porter is just that man. Porter's really good.
Now, what you think about Errol Spence saying that he's willing to give him a rematch? He said that I'm willing to run it back. He said, let's run it back. I'm a shark. He said it's strap season. What you think about that?
It's cool. I'd rather see him fight Shawn Porter than fighting Danny Garcia. I don't see what Danny Garcia is offering.
Yeah, a lot of people feel
and
that
I
way.
believe give Shawn Porter his chance. Every loss Shawn Porter had was kind of close. He always fights his heart out. He never gives it up. He never gives it up like Broner. He's fighting to the end, so that's what I respect about him.
Right. Now, the big fight that everybody want to see in the welterweight division is Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. How would you see that fight playing out?
At first, I had Spence. For seeing this performance, I'm kind of leaning towards Crawford. But they're on the same level where they can beat each other. It just matters. It matters who comes in with the better game plan that night. But they both have capabilities to be able to beat each other when it comes down to it. They're both on the same level. It's just who's going to come in sharper, who's going to come in stronger more.
Right. Now, at 122 pounds, man, you know, when would you be able to come and fight in the States? I know you're too young to fight in the States as a professional. Oh, you got also 18, next year?
Yeah, I'm going to come out on my birthday, most likely, around my birthday.
Oh, okay, okay.
On New Year's, so January, February, I'll fight in the U.S.
And so this is going to be this fight coming up in Mexico City. You said in Tijuana, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be your first professional fight.
Yep, pro debut.
Pro debut. Beautiful, man. Now, in that 122-pound division, man, you're going to be up to 126. You said you were on your way up to 126 already, right?
Yeah, I'm growing. Still growing, so you never know what weight class I end up in. But 122 right now is the plan.
Yeah.
Like a couple months ago, I was fighting at 114 pounds, and I just grew.
Right. Well, I see your physique. Like you got broad shoulders. You know. So you seem like
people think I'm bigger than I am.
Right.
I think I'm like 140 pounds.
And what you think about you know, the new crop of fighters coming in, the Devin Haney's, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, you know.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to grow as a fighter and mix it up with all those guys.
Which one you think will give you the most trouble? Which style would give you the most trouble?
No brawler give me no trouble. Probably somebody that's slick and smooth. Not no brawler. I'm used to the style of California. That's not a problem.
Yeah, because there's a lot of Mexican fighter style out there.
Yeah.
Now, what you think about?
I'm used to that.
What you think about Devin Haney calling out Vasil Lomachenko?
That fight with Lomachenko and Devin Haney, I can see Devin Haney win. A lot of people doubt it, but if you look at the fight with Luke Campbell and Lomachenko, it kind of exposed them a little bit, like, oh, this guy's beautiful.
Yeah,
I believe Luke Campbell is not as good as Devin Haney.
Yeah, I don't think Luke Campbell by far is nowhere near. And he was giving Vasil Lomachenko all the trouble in the world. What do you think about people saying that Vasil Lomachenko is the best fighter pound for pound in the world? I don't think so. What's your thoughts?
Nah, I think he's just doing that because he's a European. Something new. They just want to discredit Black Americans. That's my opinion on it. Let him prove himself. He's good. He'll beat a lot of fighters. Let him prove himself.
Right. I agree, man. I don't believe he's the best fighter in the world. Do you think he's the best fighter in the world, Kurt?
No, Terrence Crawford 1, Lomachenko 2, Canelo Alvarez 3, Spence 4, Usyk 5.
Hey, for you guys,
Canelo a bad man.
For all you guys asking who's on the line, that's Jalen Walker. You can find him on Instagram at Jalen Walker _1. Rising star prospect boxer. Man, got skills, man. Go check him out on Instagram. You can see his highlights on Instagram, man. You know, so Jalen, how you see a fight playing out? How you see this fight between Teofimo Lopez and Richard Comey playing out?
Teofimo performs like he did last time. I see him losing. Lopez is good, but I think he's talking a little too much. I don't think his skills can back it up. But he got power though. He's good. He's sharp, but I don't think he's as good as everybody else is thinking.
You know, I got.
I believe Shakur will beat him. I believe Devin Haney will beat him too.
I got a little birdie had told me a few information behind the scenes dealing with Teofimo Lopez in that last fight, and that he was having a lot of issues with his family and his wife. And people was actually, his family members was actually trying to fight his wife in the crowd while he was fighting, and that's why he kept looking over in the crowd. Yeah, so you know, he was distracted. He had issues with Top Rank. Bob Arum had assigned him a nutritionist, and a week out from the fight, the nutritionist told Teofimo Lopez that they made a mistake and he wasn't on schedule, and he had to run 5 to 6 miles a day the week of the fight, leading into the fight to get in shape. So, you know, yeah, they in the comment section, man. They said they're checking out your highlights, man, and they're saying that you the goods, man. I told everybody, man, I believe you the goods. The first time you showed me, you know, I said, man, this kid is the goods, man. I believe you got the goods, man.
I appreciate it.
Definitely. Who you think is the best out of the crop, outside of yourself, of course, out in the crop of young fighters?
Okay. Who you my top 5?
Yeah.
Shakur and Devin Haney, and then Teofimo. Davis, he's up there too, and then I got Ryan Garcia behind them. Ryan Garcia is pretty good. I just think people hate on him because he has a lot of publicity and a lot of fans. But he's good. He's not bad. He's not the best, but he's good. He's better than a lot of fighters. Like next fight, Romero Duno, he's gonna beat that guy easy. Everybody's saying he's scared of him. I believe he's gonna beat him.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Go
ahead, Kurt.
I want to sorry, Luke.
No problem.
Jalen, I want to ask you, what you think about Prince Colbert and Jerron Ennis?
Oh man, I've seen a couple of his fights. He's sharp. I feel like he's gonna take over the 47 division in a couple years. I can see him getting Spence probably when he gets experience. He's more elusive.
And I think Jerron Ennis is a little bit bigger than Errol Spence, right?
Yeah, he is a little bigger, more leaner, a little taller. Yeah, he's a big size welterweight, nice size welterweight.
And he's mobile.
Yeah, he's not a stiff. He has good hand movement.
Yeah, I definitely. I think that Jerron Ennis could possibly beat Errol Spence.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
Yep, I think he'll possibly beat Errol Spence.
What you think about Errol Spence moving up in weight to fight Canelo?
I think that's a bad move. I talked about this earlier. Errol Spence called out he called out Julian J. Rock Williams, and I think that's a mistake. I think that that his advantages at 147 pounds, the advantages that he has at 147 pounds, he's not going to have at 154 pounds. And when you're dealing with guys like Julian J. Rock Williams, who's a dog and can fight on the inside and has the ring IQ to fight on the outside and is very technical, I think that's a mistake on Errol Spence's part. I said this. I think that he shouldn't have let his lack of discipline and his want to celebrate his fights in between fights, force him to move up in weight because he's struggling to make 47. So I think personally, it's a bad mistake, man. I think that guys like people saying he's fighting a weight class below his actual weight, but then when you look at it, if you move up to 54. Those guys are fighting probably a weight class or two below their weight. So the advantages that he has, the strength and the power advantages, I know he'll have more power and more strength, but those guys are much bigger and much stronger, man. What you think, Kurt?
The way you beat Canelo, you have to make Canelo use his feet like Floyd and Lara, like a Caleb Plant or Billy Joe Sanders, because Canelo has Jerry Coon's feet and has the upper body of James Toney. He's very slick. He changed his style after the Floyd Mayweather defeat. He fights more like an American fighter than he does a Mexican fighter because he understands that to compete with his American counterpart, he must change his style. He just can't be a brawler. Spence doesn't have that footwork like Caleb Plant or Billy Joe Sanders. Spence makes a lot of mistakes on defense. He squares up. I was shocked that Shawn Porter was hitting him with counter punches and the jab. I was very shocked that Porter's jab was working. So if Spence fight Canelo gonna beat the brakes off Spence, man. Stay away.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think that the Canelo Alvarez is he's a deception, man. He does have slow feet.
There's two ways to beat Canelo.
Go ahead, break it down.
You could beat him boxing him, and you could beat him by outworking him. If you look at his fight, his conditioning is not the best. I believe you have to be sharp, but you have to have a high punch output. You have to keep him busy. You have to punch like every 2-3 seconds.
Yep, I agree. And for everybody out there, man, we got Jalen Walker on the phone, on the line right now. That's Jalen Walker, Walker. You can find him on Instagram at Jalen Walker _1. He's going to be a star, man, in the sport of boxing, man. Again, the kid is only 17 years old, man. He's going to have his pro debut over in Tijuana, Mexico. Again, we got Jalen Walker, Jalen Walker, Walker. You can find him on Instagram, Jalen Walker _1. Go ahead, Kurt.
Thank you, man.
No doubt. Go ahead, Kurt.
Oh, yeah, Jalen Walker. Who got you into boxing?
My dad was an amateur boxer, and his father before him was a pro. So you could say it's kind of runs in the family.
Okay.
Can't match it to me.
So,
I just stuck with it.
So it's just a natural thing, huh? God gifted.
Yeah. Yeah, the dedication, stuck with it. I ain't taking no breaks. Like, literally no breaks since I was 7 years old. 10 years training. And
Now, let me ask you a question. Did you spar any of these young guys? Have you ever sparred Ryan Garcia or?
I sparred his little brother.
Okay.
Shawn Garcia. I used to spar him when we were younger, but he's a little older than me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward to sparring these guys again. That'll be a great opportunity to be able to sharpen my skills up, iron sharpens iron. So I know him from the amateurs. We was like on the same team, but the same Civic Club team.
So now
I know all these guys.
So now the best and your trainer is from Jersey, correct?
Yeah, from Norfolk.
Yeah, because my co-host Kurt is from Jersey.
Yeah, his name's Jamal. Norfolk, I believe. His name is Jamal Charlo. He trained Joe Hanks. Heavyweight.
Oh, Joe Hanks is from Newark. Maybe he's from Newark. Wow, okay.
Yeah, he's probably Lawrenson, yeah.
Oh, that's where I'm from, man. Newark is a hardcore boxing town, man. Marvelous Marvin Hagler from Newark. I know trainers from Newark, like he probably knows Dewdrop and Yaya. Dewdrop's son is John Apollo K. Thompson, who was knocked out by Liam Smith in England. So I probably know him by face because I'm all in the gyms in Newark.
Yeah, he's a cool trainer. Very slick.
Hey, we got 300 people, 340 people in here watching, man. Let's get 340 likes. Go subscribe and support the young brother, man. Jalen Walker, man. Up and coming. He will be a star in the sport of boxing. I believe he'll be a superstar in the sport of boxing, right? He's going to have his first professional fight in Tijuana, Mexico, due to the fact that he's too young to debut here in the States. So he's going the same route as Devin Haney did. You can check him out again. Jalen Walker _1 JALEN Walker WALKER _1. Check him out, man. Check him out. So if you had a choice of promotional companies, what do you think would fit you the best? PBC.
Yeah, and then next in line, Dazzle.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably Floyd. I believe he's good with his fighters. If he wants to. Like if it's his choice and he wants to move him, he's good. So
yeah, and the zone, you know, they keep their fighters busy over there, man. How many fights? Hey, Kurt, how many fights this year Tevin Farmer had, man?
So few.
Hey, Kurt, you there, Kurt?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think 4.
Man, 4.
I think 4. They keep him busy. So I believe 4 fights.
And 4 fights in 1 year. That's unheard of today's time, man. Keep a fighters busy.
Hey, that's how it should be.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely how it should be. For sure. For sure, that's how it should be, man. You know, because
I got Davis being a farmer, but he's saying being inactive. I can see farmers capacity.
I was going to ask you what you think. What's your thoughts about Gervonta Tank Davis? He's somewhere in between. You know, he. It's funny, right? Because he's not. He seems to not be in the same crop with the Shakur Stevensons and the Devin Haneys, but he's not in. You know, the Terrence. You know, the Errol Spences and the. You know, the Keith Thurman. He's not in that era, so he's like in the middle. It seems like, you know, but he's just as young as everybody else, but it just seems like he's been fighting longer. So, right. Because how old is he? What, 22, 23?
24.
Oh, he's 24. Okay. Yeah, so he is a little bit older. Because Devin is what, 20? Shakur is 20, and you're 17.
Yeah.
And Ryan Garcia is what, 21, I believe? 20? Yeah. So
Ryan Garcia, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Now, there was a video just surfaced of Floyd Mayweather saying he does all the talking for Gervonta Tank Davis. so that way Tank only has to do all the talking in the ring. Are you in agreement with that, man? Would you allow that?
Well, not me. I can talk to it. I know how to talk to people. So you probably have to do that with Davis. Davis probably doesn't like talking to people and doesn't have the charisma.
Right.
So he's probably helping them out. He's probably going to say something wild. And I forgot what interview Gervonta Davis was doing, but he's like slurring his words and saying the wrong stuff. Like he got names mixed up. I forgot who it was, but like he had somebody's name mixed up. He had like a last name and a first name of two different fighters.
And it's a strong possibility. It's probably, you know, sometimes when the camera's put in your face, man, you know, everybody's not built for that. Everybody's not built for that.
Yeah, and it's probably helping.
Yeah, you know, but the problem is that, you know, they already classify him as the superstar and the pay-per-view star, you know, so people want to hear from him. You know, people want him to say and call out fighters, man. People want to see him fight, you know, Vasyl Lomachenko. People want to see him fight Gary Russell. People want to see him fight those type of fighters, man.
Yeah, they got to start pushing him.
Right.
He ain't a little kid. He's 24. He's a grown man.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly.
He's not like Devin Haney or Shakur. He's not young.
Right.
He's young, but he ain't like, you know, fragile. Yeah, a fragile age.
Right. Now, what you think about the 126-pound division? Because you said you'll be up there in no time.
Yeah, I'll be up there soon.
Right. What you think about Gary Russell?
I like Gary Russell. I don't like what he did to Leo Santa Cruz, that though. I think he crossed the line. How you say he could touch that? That was a little too much. But hey, Leo has to fight him.
And I
trying to get the fight.
I asked Leo about that, and Leo said, you know, he didn't take it personal. He said because it's just a way of Gary trying to get a fight. So he didn't look at it. He didn't look at it as you know. And I told Leo, I said, listen, you know, a lot of fans, you know, a lot of your fans didn't like your response to what Gary Russell did, and you know, they wanted you to respond different. And he just said, listen, you know what, I can't. I got to fight who they put in front of me. And he apologized to the fans if they felt, you know, he was scared to fight Gary Russell, or you know, they didn't like his response. So he said he just apologized, but he don't see it as disrespectful. He said that his dad does know Gary Russell. He said, but at the same token, he didn't know who he was at the moment, you know. So, and he said, you know, he doesn't speak English, and but he chalked it up as a, you know, just a part of the sport, you know. So, you know, hey, listen, Kurt, what did you think about that? The way Gary Russell did with Leo Santa Cruz? That
I understood what he was trying to do, because in boxing history, fighters done did more outlandish things than that. You know, when Leonard fought Duran in Montreal, you know, June 20th, he called Leonard wife a whore, and you know, Ricardo Maega touched Jane Mosley girl and on the backside, and you know, Larry Holmes threw Tim Witherspoon, his whole family out the hotel. They had to get another hotel. So, you know, fighters, Larry Holmes crazy. So they, you know, fighters have done this. We know Gary is a nice person. He's trying any and everything to bring Leo Santa Cruz out from hiding, because he knows Leo Santa Cruz don't want no smoke. You know, and to my surprise, Santa Cruz is taking a timid way out. If somebody would do that to my father, man, we fighting that night. That's just the way I'm built, man. If that will work, and somebody try to get me to fight, well, you got me. You don't hug my father and tuck on his chain and all that. You know, you can touch.
Hey, man, we got.
He got a little out of line, but and he did. Well, he could have fight him. That's what he said, though. But
hey, we got 350 people here watching, man. Let's get 350 likes, man. We have the young brother Jalen Walker on the line, man. Jalen Walker, Walker. You can find him on Instagram at Jalen Walker _1. Rising, he will be a star prospect. He's gonna have his pro debut in Tijuana, Mexico. because he's too young of age to have it staged here in the States, man. So hit the like button, go subscribe, and check out the young brother. So Jalen, man, how do you see a fight playing out between Vasyl Lomachenko and Gervonta Tank Davis?
I think Devin Haney has a better chance, but with Gervonta Davis, I see Lomachenko winning, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think Gervonta Davis is going to quit like his other opponents. Because Gervonta Davis is smaller than Vasyl Lomachenko. Only thing he has to put him off is his skills and his power. And Lomachenko is skilled. So they're kind of on an even playing field. But if Lomachenko fights Devin Haney has size to his advantage.
What you think about that, Kurt?
That's a very intriguing fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I didn't like what I seen from Lomachenko. If Tank go in there and this is ring IQ, is first. We know Tank has speed and power. We know Lomachenko has become very aggressive, and he, gives you angles. If Tank can go to his body and he has to throw a lot of punches and put Lomachenko on the back foot, he would have a lot of success. Or he would have to stand his ground because Eastern European fighters, they come forward because they can apply angles. That's how Usyk fights. That's how Lomachenko fights, But if you could put, a European fighter on his back foot, Lomachenko, Tank has a better chance. He has to go to the body and throw a lot of combinations and push him back.
Yeah, I agree, man.
I think it's going to be harder. I think it'll be hard for him. Because you're going to have to throw more punches than he usually does. And Lomachenko is going to be the bigger man in this fight. So there's so many variables that's kind of against him.
That's true, because a lot of people, I give Lomachenko credit. He's a fantastic fighter, but he imposes his will on you. You notice he's getting more and more aggressive. He'll take the fight to you. So you have to oppose your own will and take the fight, man. I like what I'm seeing. The upper body movement, the defense, so if Tank is smart and if he don't fall apart, but he needs a big fight before he fight Lomachenko. Mayweather has to take the training wheels off Tank.
I kind of won't make the fight if I was the promoter, Lomachenko. I'll probably wait a year or two to take my investment. But I do believe Davis needs to be in a bigger fight. He should fight like the people first. And like other guys, to move up to lightweight. To fight the guys in those divisions.
Now, we got a big fight in the heavyweight division. Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, man. The rematch, the highly anticipated rematch, man. Andy Ruiz upset Anthony Joshua, dropped him 4 times, ultimately stopped him in the 7th round. They will be having a rematch December 7th in Saudi Arabia. What's your thoughts on that fight and how you see that fight playing out?
The only way AJ's winning is by knockout. I don't see him making adjustments this quick to be able to beat Andy Ruiz. I believe Andy Ruiz had him figure out the whole fight. It wasn't a lucky punch that knocked out AJ. It was Anthony Ruiz's skill and boxing IQ that gave Anthony Joshua problems. The only way AJ is winning is he knocks him out and outdogs him, but he's not beating him on skill. Anthony Ruiz has a higher IQ than AJ. You can tell. Anthony Joshua was never comfortable in that fight. From the first round, even when he knocked him down, he wasn't comfortable. His body language, how he was punching, he was never comfortable in that fight.
Yeah, I agree, man. I thought that I truly thought that the fight when the fight was first made, I said Joshua was going to beat him, but from the opening bell, it just seems like Anthony Joshua was uncomfortable. It seemed like Anthony Joshua's Andy Ruiz's skill set is all wrong for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is coming up with every excuse in the book why he didn't win the fight. Now he's even talking about he's going to change his ring walk. His ring walk was an issue, you know. So I just think that mentally, I think mentally Anthony Joshua.
Nervous breakdown,
Right. I just think that, you know, Anthony Joshua, if you don't understand why you lost to correct your wrongs, you know, then you're not going to be able to correct them. You're not going to be successful. What you think, Kurt?
Absolutely. Like Jalen said, he had a nervous breakdown before the fight. They had to calm him down with water and all that. You know, like he a horse or whatever. But it's because he's fighting at Madison Square Garden. People don't understand. I've been watching fight. I've been in the garden at least 100 times, man. And for a fighter, that's a lot of pressure. You notice in the hallways when he was passing through, they have these electronic screens where they show the pads that were champion Joe Louis, Ali. So all that pressure, him being from England, fighting in America for the first time and at the Garden, you put him in that situation, you know, and it went to kaput, you know. So the pressure got to him, and I don't like Johnson because when he get hit, he doesn't react well to punches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't. He got knocked out by Jalen Walker in the amateurs.
Right. And he nearly got knocked out by. Go ahead.
Heavyweights, they get knocked out like in the amateurs. That's not like a rare thing to see. That doesn't mean they don't got a chance. They get hit so hard. But him, it seems like he wobbles a lot.
Mm-hmm. And
he's very suspect.
He was nearly knocked out by Dillian White when they fought in the pros. It's just that he, you know, Dillian White, you know, made drastic mistakes in the fight, and he got caught, and he never recovered. So that proved to be the difference. But Dillian White had him out on his feet at one point in the fight in the pros. You know, we've seen him wobbled by Alexander Povetkin. We saw him wobbled by Joseph Parker. You know, we've seen him.
Dillian
White. You know,
do you believe it's a chin, or do you believe that he has a good chin? It's just that he's open too much. Because Andre Ward on ESPN, like it's like a fight talk that he has his own channel, and he was talking about Amir Khan's chin, and he was saying Amir Khan's chin is not bad. It's just that he's open too much because the shots that he get hit with would knock a lot of fighters out.
Mm-hmm. I think that part of that is true because he gets hit on the chin, he gets wobbled. You know, he gets hit on the temple, he gets wobbled. You know, the Ruiz punch was on the temple. You know, then he's saying it was on the back of his head. You know, so I do believe it's his lack of. You know what? I chalk it up to his slow head movement. He's robotic. His head. He's there to get hit. You know, he doesn't have good head movement, and so
his last fight, he seemed a little more mobile. He didn't have his muscle.
Right.
He didn't have all that muscle mass on him. He looked kind of like lively, you could say, kind of soft.
And you know what it is too, he has stamina issues as well. So what you think, Kurt?
Yeah, certain fighters doesn't react well when they hit. It's a mental thing. You know, you can hit certain fighters all day and they react differently. Like Trinidad didn't have the best chin, but see, what Trinidad had was intestinal fortitude because if you look at his career, he got knocked down a lot, but when he got back up, he fought harder and he'll knock you out. That's his mental. Other fighters like Amir Khan and Anthony Joshua, other fighters too, when you hit them, they just fold up like a cheap picnic table because it becomes psychological.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether they have a chin or not, anybody can be hurt, especially with a punch you don't see. But it's what you do when you get hit, how you going to react.
Right. And, it's just like Terrence Crawford. We've seen Terrence Crawford buzzed a few times in his career. You know, but it's his mental fortitude, like you said, Kurt. You know, that allows him to, you know, to recover quick. You know, because he refused to stay in that state of mind. You know, he refused to. Yeah, he refuses. You know, and sometimes you get hit and you get hit right on the button, and it's just absolutely nothing you could do about that. You know, but with Anthony Joshua, man, it seems like you grazed that dude, man, and it's all she wrote. That's why I always said that if he faced Deontay Wilder, it's going to be a curtain call. Because I just don't. It is no way he doesn't have the head movement. He doesn't have the athletic ability. You know, he's not quick enough. He don't have quick twitch muscles, man. He has.
I don't think nobody's beating Wilder right now.
Me neither.
I think Wilder's just going mentally.
Yeah.
I think his mindset backs up his skills, his lack of skills. Like, he has skills. I'm not saying he's like not a skilled fighter, but his mindset is the real reason why he's where he's at. His mindset and his power.
I like that.
But shit.
What you think about that, Kurt?
Pretty much it.
What you think about what he just said?
Yeah, he's right, because Wilder is super confident, man, especially coming off of a knockout like Brazil. He was always confident, but he just raised his game. Now it's hard to beat a fighter who's confident, a heavyweight, and plus, man, he got the right hand of Thor, man. It's when you have a heavyweight like that, who's athletic, quick, and lean, because I like lean fighters, you know, and he got that big right hand, man. That changes the whole division. I don't see Wilder losing right now. I think he's gonna knock Ortiz out, and he'll knock Fury out, and he'll knock whoever that right hand, man. He just can't overthrow the right hand. I would like to see him use his jab more, because he has a beautiful underrated jab, and the left hook, he needs to hide the right hand like Tommy Hearns.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think Wilder have the equalizer, man. That dude's power is unbelievable, man. I think he's arguably the hardest puncher in the sport of boxing history, man. You know, one punch knockout power, man, is just outrageous, man. We've seen guys with extraordinary power and, you know, one punch knockout power, but every single fight, man. I watched that Chris Arreola fight last night, and his jab, because remember he couldn't use his right arm in that fight because he had fell on his he said it was he was cleaning the yard and got an injury in the yard, because if he would have said that it was a motorcycle injury or something, they would have canceled the fight. So he told him, you know, he got it doing yard work, you know, but so he couldn't use the right arm. Remember, he had like burn marks and all types of stuff on his right arm. But he just sat down on his left jab, man, and his left jab was hitting Chris Arreola. I'm like, good Lord, man. And that's just because he just sat down on his jab, and just, man, the thunder he was hitting Chris Arreola with the jab alone. That they stopped the fight off of the jab. They stopped the fight based off of him hitting him with his jab cleanly. What you think about that?
You know, like a strong jab over the.
Yes, Sergey Kovalev.
He got a strong jab. He knocked Anthony Lloyd out with that jab.
Yep. Kurt,
hey, man, listen, Wilder, you know, when I first saw Wilder, I wasn't impressed, man, at all. I said, who is this, man? Another so-called up-and-coming American heavyweight. Then he started stretching people. People was having convulsions like La Jolla. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, whoa, wait a minute now, Kurt, we got something here. And then he was just grazing people on the 10, and they would fall. And I've seen a lot of hard-hitting heavyweights in my time. Ernie Shavers, Sonny Liston, George Foreman, Joe Lewis, man. But he's the hardest. That right hand down the pipe, man.
I think he's
never seen it like
Tommy
Hearns and Gerald McClellan. They all can punch. Julian Jackson. Wilder's up there with those dudes, man.
Yeah. So I think it sets him apart is that he's fast. Faster than George Foreman and Ernie Shavers.
Yeah, he's faster.
He's the fastest, hardest hitting heavyweight ever.
And he's punching down and punching through you.
Yeah, like he's fast, and it's hard. It's something different.
Yeah, man, that dude is he's amazing, man. That dude is amazing, man. And again, my peoples, if y'all don't understand, we're on the line with Jalen Walker, Jalen Walker, WALKER. You can find him on Instagram at Jalen Walker _1. Man, he's going to have his pro debut in Tijuana, Mexico. Due to his age, he's 17 years old, so he cannot debut here in the States. So he's taking the route of Devin Haney. I'm keep giving y'all the example of Devin Haney because he's the most recent guy you guys can identify with, you know, that took this route. You know, go check him out on Instagram, man. Kid is a star, man. He's going to be a star in the sport of boxing. I truly believe it. I've seen him sparring. I've seen the sparring clips. Man, I think the kid got the goods, man. So, What you think about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury rematch, Jalen?
I got Wilder. I believe Tyson Fury is scared. I believe Tyson Fury is fighting no names for a reason. He's trying to build his conditioning or something up, but I believe Wilder's gonna knock him out.
What's your thoughts, Kurt?
I said Wilder's gonna knock him out the first time. He was overshooting the right hand, but I think that helped him. I think this is be another big fight for him. Fury, a super fight. I think he opens the cut on Fury and then get him out of there.
Me too, man. I think that cut. I saw an interview today that what's the name? Stitch did. Stitch did an interview, and he talked about that cut that Tyson Fury suffered. He says that the only way to keep the cut under wraps when he fights Deontay Wilder, he said Wilder is obviously going to target that cut. He says the only way to keep it under control is to continue to ice it throughout training camp, in between rounds of the fight. He says, but that's only going to do so much, to prevent that cut to reopen when you're dealing with a guy that with the power and the hand speed of Deontay Wilder, with the force that's coming behind it. He believes that it's just a matter of time in that fight before that cut is opened up. So I think that Tyson Fury is going to get knocked out within. I don't think it's going past the 7th round. I think that by the 3rd round, that cut will be open back up. He's going to be pouring at the cut because he can't see. And I think in between him pouring at that cut, he's going to be raising his right hand with his left hand down, and Wilder's going to clip him, and it's going to be good night, Irene. I think the show.
You think Tyson Fury has scar tissue from that fight?
Yep.
From his last fight?
Yep.
Like Chavez, how he had scar tissue when he fought De La Hoya?
Yep. We just seen it recently with Anthony Durrell, right? He got hit with a jab by David Benavidez, and it cut open right back up, man. And some guys is just, when you get gashes and cuts like that, man, it sucks, man, because it kind of hinders your career. You know what I mean? And speaking of one last thing before we let Jalen get off, man. Speaking of which, David Benavidez beat Anthony Durrell over the past weekend as a co-main event to Spence-Porter. But I thought that Anthony Durrell was exposing David Benavidez. I thought he was clearly outboxing him. I love that jab. That's my favorite punch. You guys know it. That jab to the solar plex. I believe he was using that jab very, very accurately, very calculated. And he was freezing David Benavidez with that punch. And every single round, the longer the fight went on, the more I was looking, and I'm like, Caleb Plant is going to beat him easy. As long as Caleb Plant's stamina stays on par, he's going to beat him easy. What's your thoughts, Jalen?
I believe that what's his name? David Benavidez is going to get better with time, but Anthony Durrell was exposing him, and it's probably going to make him better. Kind of how Floyd made Canelo better.
What you think, Kurt?
Well, Benavidez uses his size. I want to know his weight coming into the fight, because he looked like a cruiserweight. He was just strong. See, he's smart because he know he can impose his will with his size on people, but if you box him, you can beat him. That's what Ronald Gabriel did in the first fight, but David Benavidez' kryptonite will be footwork, and Caleb Plant has that in abundance.
Yeah, Jalen, how you think Caleb Plant would do against David Benavidez?
I think Benavidez will be too much for him, but I'm not knocking Caleb Plant. I believe he's a real good fighter, real sharp. He just fought my coach's fighter, Mike Lee. And he showed his skills and everything. So it don't matter who wins, but I got Benavidez right
now. Yeah, how you see that fight playing out, Kurt?
Between I couldn't hear him. I'm sorry.
Between Benavidez and Caleb Plant.
Oh man, the more Plant fights, the better chance he has. If they fight Saturday, I get it as a Benavidez, even though Benavidez is young, but the more experience Plant gains, I think it'd be dangerous for Benavidez, man. I will get as many fights in as possible, then the showdown would be Benavidez. If they fight another year from now, I would take Plant because of his footwork. He just need a little bit more seasoning, and he'll be ready for Benavidez.
Yeah, I agree, man. I personally think that what I saw Anthony Darrell doing, that jab to the solar plex and then being able to come back up top and catch him with combinations, left, rights, and and he was just freezing him and had him just standing still. I just think that Caleb Plant, man, would just outbox him. But the thing is, Caleb Plant, if his stamina issues start to kick in, because remember he started fading against Uskowski, and he allowed him to come back, make his way back in the fight. And if he does that, then you can't do that with David Benavidez. But the movement of Anthony Darrell was giving Benavidez so much trouble, and I'm like, he's just not the athlete of Caleb Plant. And so the quickness and the speed of Caleb Plant is just going to give David Benavidez even more trouble, man. I just can't see it, man. But we got the young brother, Jalen Walker on the line, man. I'm going to let him get up out of here. He's been on for an hour, man. I thank you. I appreciate your time, man. Tell the people where they can find you. Tell the people your next move, man. This is not going to be the last time we have him on, man. It's the first of many, man. So we're going to have him on many, many more times. So just give the people any last words for the people where they can find you and things of that nature, man.
You can find me on Jalen Walker _1 on Instagram. And I'm coming up and I'm here to change boxing. I'm here to bring boxing back on the map. I'm here to make make boxing America's #1 sport again.
Yes, sir. Any last words for him, Kurt?
Absolutely. I'm gonna be watching you, Jalen Walker, man. I'm gonna be watching you very close, man. I'll be in your corner. Thanks for coming on the show, man. Stay focused, man, and make us proud. And the whole LDBC will stand behind you, my brother. Just make sure when you become a world champion, promise me you'll wear an LDBC patch on your trunks. So we'll stand behind you, and we love you, man.
I'll do it before I'm a champion. I'll do it my pro debut.
That's love.
That's love right there. Yeah, we're gonna get you the patch, bro. We're gonna get you the patch, man.
All right, I'll wear it.
I appreciate you, man. And I'll be in touch with you. And just shoot me the date. You have any dates for your pro debut?
It's on October 26th.
Oh, so it's a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, so October the 26th.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, we gonna have you back on October the 27th to talk about how it went.
All right.
Let's do it. I appreciate you, bro.
All right, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate the support.
Absolutely, man, and good luck, man.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you, man.
No doubt.
All right.
Peace. So we just had Jalen Walker on, man. Go check him out. Jalen Walker _1 JALEN Walker WALKER _1 on Instagram. Go check him out, man. He got a lot of skills. Kurt, what you think about his mindset, man?
He sound wise beyond his years, very mature. I gotta check him out, man. I'm gonna follow him, man, like I follow young fighters, man, and I like his mindset, man. You gotta be 100% in the sport of boxing. You gotta be dedicated, not only physically but mentally. So I like him, man. 17 years old. The sky's the limit. He got a good head on his shoulders, man, and we're gonna support him.
Yep, man. We're gonna get behind these young guys, man. We're gonna support these young guys, man. We're gonna back them, man. Especially the young brothers, man, in the game, man. Hey, listen, October the 26th, he gonna make his debut. On October the 27th, we're gonna have him back on the show to talk about it, man. So we're gonna open up the phone lines. My brother, the Cali Enigma, wanted to come on the show. We got a half hour left. What you think about that, Kurt? Just send him the link.
Yeah, you can. We got a half an hour, man. You know, the interview went well. It was long. That means it went well, man. He's very talkative, man. And you know, Callie, my brother, you can send him a link. You know, we got another half an hour before 78 come on, man. So we might as well do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find Callie's email.
Man, I'm just so excited about the fights coming up, man. And people ain't talking about Vosnick and Benavidez. That's a great fight, man.
That's another fight that's good. Yep.
I told you, then the next week you got Prograis and Taylor. Woo.
Yep.
Oh man, and starting Saturday, man. You know, happy birthday to me. You know, Triple G versus Deverenchenko. I like Triple G. And the Wolf is fighting Clarissa Shields. I like her, and of course Jerron Ennis. He probably won by early stoppage, you know, because he's fighting a rugged Argentina. His style is all bad for Ennis. So you know, I'm excited, man. December 7th, you got Joshua and Ruiz. November 23rd, you got Wilder and Ortiz. Oh man, I can't wait, man.
Yep, I
can't wait, man.
Man, we got a lot of action coming up, man. A lot of action coming up.
You know, Bud Crawford is fighting, my favorite fighter. You know, man, hey, listen, he ain't fighting the best, but at least he's staying busy, man. And other fights that skits me right now, but I remember it. You know, I'm just excited, man. You got a golden era in the welterweight division. They fighting each other, man. The Crawford and Crawford and Spence fight will be made. Trust me, it'll be made.
Yeah,
you know, so. You know, that fight is like Leonard Hearns, man. You know, the backdrop, you know. So, yeah, I love both of them guys, man, just like I did Leonard Hearns, but I like Leonard a little more because I was more familiar with him, you know. But I'm excited, man, for boxing, man. You know, 2 heavyweight title fights, November and December. It gets no better, man.
Yep. Man, I can't wait, man. We're going to have my brother, the Cali Enigma Sports and Entertainment on in just a few seconds, man. In just a few split seconds, we're going to open up the phone lines, you know, so you guys could get a few call-ins. We're going to have to keep the calls kind of short because, you know, we only got a half hour left, you know, so we're going to keep the calls, you know, somewhat, you know, on the shorter end, but we're going to make it happen. All right, my peopleizations.
I got a question for you, Blue, in the chat.
You got it.
And I want everybody to be honest. Jamal Charlo, are you guys satisfied the way his career has gone? It seems like his star has dimmed, you know, and are you happy the way the Carl Boff and Brandon Adams fight went? And imagine Golden Boy, Oscar calls Charlo to fight. Would Charlo be mentally and physically ready by the performances? You know, his star done dim. Am I wrong, or should I say stale? Am I wrong? Because personally, I don't like how his career is going. I didn't like how he looked against Brandon Adams. So I want you guys in the chat to say if I'm wrong or how you feel about Jamal Charlo's career so far.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna let the brother. We got the brother of the Cali Enigma Sports and Entertainment in the building. Again, the Cali Enigma Sports and Entertainment in the building. Cali, did you hear that question the brother Kurt Sugar had?
Yeah, I just heard it, man. I'm sorry, man. I missed your phone call, text, man. I've been so caught up in that whole Amber Geiger case. That's a whole nother subject, though. Don't want to bring that, mess your channel with that, but we'll talk about that offline. But Jamal Charlo, man. Yeah, man. The Korobov fight. I understand that one, but the Brandon Adams fight, he really needed to get Brandon Adams out of there, man. I don't care if you get him out of there 5-6 rounds. You got to get that dude up out of there. I do think Brandon Adams did what he needed to do to survive. I think he came in that fight with the ideal to survive, but you still got to find a way to set traps to get him up out of there. And it's one of the reasons why I thought I favor Demetrius Andrade over Jamal Charlo. I think Jamal Charlo's too basic. He doesn't have enough to his game. You know what I see? He doesn't have enough nuance to his game. He's too basic in his approach, man. And he doesn't really, you know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about. He doesn't really set up anything. if his jab, I mean, he has a solid jab, but if his jab ain't going, then what does he really have? I'm just keeping it 100, man. So Jamal Charlo, man, to me still has a lot to work on, but you know what I mean. If when his jab is working, he's solid. Mm-hmm. But I just think Andrade is too athletic for him. I think Charlo is athletic, but he's not as athletic as Andrade. I think Andrade's length and awkwardness will give him a ton of problems on top of being a southpaw. I don't know why Andrade don't want to fight him. Just from a stylistic standpoint, I think he's a bad matchup for Jamal Charlo. But as far as Canelo not fighting him, man, Canelo gonna fight at 175, and the rumor is he gonna vacate the 160 titles, and if he loses, he going to 168, get a couple fights there, and then get up out of there. So Canelo and Jamal Charlo ain't never happening, man. You would think that Triple G would have saw these last two fights and wanted smoke, but it's still something about Jamal Charlo where he don't want it. So that's what's weird to me. Triple G should be trying to get Jamal Charlo in the ring. You would think so off his last two performances, but there's still something about him. So I don't get it, but whatever, man. That stuff is so frustrating. I wish Jamal Charlo would have had a couple better performances. Those are two guys. He almost got Korobov out of there. I probably could have the Branham Adams fight wouldn't have been so bad if he would have knocked out Korobov. Even though Korobov is a solid fighter, but Korobov faded, and Charlo just missed. I think if he would have had like another 30 seconds, he would have knocked Korobov out. But unfortunately, he didn't, and he let his brother's fight get to him, and it cost him. I thought it cost him an opportunity to knock out Korobov. I think without, and I'm not trying to make an excuse, but I do think without the issue that happened with his brother losing, but right before he fought, I thought that hurt his performance, is what I should say. And it was clear. You could see it in his face in the locker room. I'm like, and then he came out of the locker room flat. And then, of course, in his next fight, he said he had broke his hand. I think he had broke his jab hand, actually, his left hand. So that kind of hurt his jabs. But you still got to be able to mix it up. He did what he needed to do to get the win, but he needs to. You gotta be flawless, man. You gotta shine. You're trying to get fights. There's no pressure being put on Canelo or anybody like that when you're going the distance with Brandon Adams, man. No disrespect to Jamal Charlo, but one of my subs brought it up. I agree. Triple G would have got Brandon Adams out of there. Brandon Adams would not have survived against Triple G. He wouldn't have. Triple G would have found a way to get him up out of there. He would have hurt him with an uppercut, whether that punch on top of his head. He would have done something to hurt Brandon Adams to the point we can get him up out of there. And Jamal Charlo just not being able to do it.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Callie, we're going to take a call. Let's take a call. Oh, man. I don't know what happened again. Hold on 1 second, brother. Trying to get you connected. Okay, there you go. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, it's Bon South D-Town.
Oh, the brother Bon South D-Town. What's going on, brother? We got the brother, my co-host, Kurt Sugar, a.k.a. Kurt Anderson, a.k.a. The Historian, and we got my brother, the Cali Enigma, Sports and Entertainment on the line. What's going on with you, Bon South?
Man, say, man, everything, man. Slow boogie.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to say what's up to Kurt, you know what I'm saying? I've been following y'all, you know what I'm saying? He be putting it out there, giving us that game that we all need, keeping us updated, telling us everything about the sport of boxing. And Calvin, yeah, I follow him too. You know, I mess with him. Mm-hmm. I mess with everybody in LDBC. You know, I rock. No, so I just want to talk on this Charlo situation.
Go ahead, cook on it.
Jamal Charlo. Okay, Jamal Charlo. It's similar to Bud Crawford's situation. Bud Crawford's over there. He can't get nobody. And Jamal Charlo is the same way. He on this side, and he can't get nobody. It's similar to the same situation. And the ones that's over there with him is ducking Charlo. Some of the guys who he can't fight, they ducking him. So now, we can't put it on Jamal Charlo because here's the thing. He fought Caldwell, which was a good fight. Even though he didn't win, but that fight and that experience gonna help him for his future fight. Somebody that they ain't got those skills, the movement, and all that stuff, Jamal Charlo, if they do got it, he got that experience. He needed that fight. Brandon, a short guy who came, he's looking like Spence-Porter with the angles and everything. He got that experience. So when everybody he fights, he can remember that. That's going to help him in the long run. Whenever he get in the ring with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you think he needs to knock out Kevin Hogan, his next opponent? I think he needs to knock out Kevin Hogan. I understand though, this is the guy that to me, in my opinion, beat Jaime McGee. That was in Jaime McGee's prior fight to him fighting his last fight. So I guess it was a couple fights ago. Jaime McGee had fought Kevin Hogan, and then the internet was on an uproar because everyone thought Jaime lost. This is the guy coming up for 154. Jamal Charlo got to stop this guy, man. He has to. He's going to give him some movement, but Jamal Charlo needs to neutralize his movement with the jab. He needs to set it up with the right hand, maybe even come back with a counter left hook, short left hook, but he has to get that guy up out of there, man. It's at some point. I understand it's not fair, and yes, he should be able to win, but unfortunately, Jamal Charlo is not in position to be able to just beat dudes and go on about it. He needs to look good, man. So he got to get this dude up out of here, man. And it's something that I hate. It's not fair, but unfortunately, it's the situation that he's in. The guys he's fighting guys who aren't up to snuff or who are solid competition, but are beneath him. Which what I believe that this Kevin Hogan is beneath him. This is the kind of guy that he's supposed to stop.
Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts, Kurt?
Yeah, absolutely, man. He got to make a statement, man. He was hot before, but not now, man. His last two fights have been very stale. He lost momentum, man. That's how boxing is, man. But knockout sell, it convinces you mentally and physically, man, that you feel invincible. Why do you think Deontay Wilder is so confident? Because it's a different. Hey, when what they say, when this one look good, the next one. But when you fight Brandon Adams, you got to get him out of there. So if he struggles with Dennis Hogan and wins like 8 or 9 rounds, man, I'm gonna be like, hey, man, maybe the love ain't there or whatever. Maybe you getting stepped aside. Man, I don't know what it is, man, but I lost confidence in Jamal Charlo. So prove me wrong, So I just want to see him, direct his career the right way so he could be relevant, and be a hot fighter. We was talking about Charlo a couple of years ago, but now, people moved on. It seemed like we talk about the up and coming prospects and Tank, and it seemed like a lot of fighters have passed him over. We talk more about Jaron Ennis than we do Jamal Charlo. So
you know why though? Because he has Kurt, not to cut you off, but he has no opponents. There's no opponents really out there for him. The two opponents that are left in a middleweight division don't really want no smoke with him. The only fights that we want to see him fight would be Triple G now, since Canelo, from what I'm hearing, is not going to come back. Canelo and Demetrius Andrade are the only 2 fights out there, and don't look like he's going to be able to get those. And I just saw in the chat room, shout out to everybody in the chat room, that I believe it was CSM. Yeah, there CSM HBJ Dog said, why Charlo got to go to 168 fight Benavidez and Plant, but Triple G don't. And that's what they do to brothers, unfortunately, man. Jamal Charlo may be forced to do something like that if he's looking to get some big fights for the future. I know it's not if life ain't fair, and it's definitely not fair to the brothers. But unfortunately, he may have to go up to 168 if he's looking for some names. If he's looking for a big fight, he's big enough to go up there. But he may have to do it. I don't know what you guys thought about that, man.
Yeah, I think that's the case, man. Hey, my brother, Bounce South D-Town, we're gonna have to move on to the next caller, right, my brother?
I just want to say one thing real quick. We got to remember that Triple G and Canelo ducked Carvalho too. So you ask yourself why. When you see the fight that Jamal Charlo and Carvalho had, they've been ducking him for a long time too. Mm-hmm. So they ducking him for a reason.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, we know that
Carvalho.
We know it's a double standard, man. We know what it is.
Right, okay, that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna hang up, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Stay up, man. Keep it going, man. I'm back in the chat.
Appreciate you, chat. Yep, we know that. We definitely know that there's and Cali, you're right. He might have to, but you know what he can do, Cali, that he doesn't do, that I just disagree with. He don't force nobody's hand, right? Go ahead and Put pressure on these dudes. Show up to the fights. You know what I'm saying? Do what Gary Russell is doing. Show up. Show up to Canelo Alvarez fight. That's what Erislandy Lara did. He got the fight, right? Erislandy Lara showed up to the fight. He got the fight. Danny Jacobs jumped in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. He got the fight. You see what I'm saying? Why not?
He said, pull up on Triple G, right?
Yeah,
Triple G got a fight coming up. Pull up.
Yep. Hold on. Let's get to this next caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, man, I'm doing my drive-by. It's Ty King of Law in the building. What's shaking, baby?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's shaking with you, my guy?
It's my guy Kurt Sugar on the line tonight, Blue.
Yeah, he there. Yeah, he there. And we got an extra guest. Go ahead, Kurt.
Taking Allah, my brick city brother. What's going on in the north, my brother?
What's going on, Kurt? Hey, Kurt, I was giving Blue the rundown. You know, I said I lived in North for 2 years. I said Kurt didn't know that. I started talking about different clubs and stuff. And my cousins down there on High Street in the Bricks and up there on Clinton Place. I said, me and Kurt got a quick find, man. So shout out to Kurt Sugar and Cake the Ring. You ain't know I knew about that. Cake the Ring. Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, and Cake the Ring. They said, Blue, I got a little history on a lot of y'all cats. Blue's name is Shaw, a.k.a. Shaw.
Yeah.
I know you guys handle on the streets now. Don't think I'm going to get past you on the streets. I know those guys now. Yes, sir. Shout out to Cali and Neighbor, man. What's going on, man? Just checking to go on my drive-by, man. You know, and listen, hey, listen. Spence said he want to run it back. Salute to Spence. And I heard you earlier, Blue, talking about him hitting Porter with that left and not following up on that right. I was actually on my way to Wawa to get some coffee. I said, you know what? Blue, you was on point with that. Because had he followed up with a right, overhand right, it would have been lights out. And I agree with you on that. Blue, you on point with that one. And Terrence Crawford, like you said, would have finished him in that fight. I agree with you 100% on that. Blue, you was on point with that one, man. Come on, talk to me.
I appreciate you. And yeah, that's a good question. I want to hear Kurt and Callie's take on that too. When he hit him with the left hook, right? Boom, and his head, Shawn Porter head turned, and he was throwing the jab. He was off balance, right? He was vulnerable. If that was any other accurate fighter, they wouldn't have admired their work. They would have closed the show. Because that right hand was there if he would have followed up with it. But he hit him with the left and then admired his work. Or he was hesitant to follow up because Shawn Porter was so active. What you think, Kurt and Callie?
Well, that's true. He was in a position to be hit. And Spence lost the opportunity for a TKO, man, because he was out of position. Porter was. That's what a puncher do. You know, he left hook. And he should know better. Left hook come with the right hand, left hook. You know, but I think, you know, in a big fight like that and a lot of emotion, he just got caught up in it, man. He admired his work. He was waiting for the receipts. You know, so when he found, you know, when he got hit with that left hook, he was just looking. You could see the replay. And he lost his chance, man. And, you know, it happens. It's the sport of boxing. He was caught in the emotion. And you know, Spinks has a high ring IQ, but you know, it was a mishap on his part. So I would love to ask him that question. Why didn't he follow up with the straight right? So, you know, but I understand because I've seen a lot of fighters on a high level do that, you know, miss their opportunity, a tough fight. So, you know, you hit somebody, it's almost like a shock. Be like, oh, man, I got him, you know, and you hesitate. Absolutely.
Yep. Callie, what's your thought? Hey, my brother, we're going to get to the next caller, my brother, Ty King.
Yes, sir. Yes, I just want to throw that in there, hit y'all with that good question, and give you a salute on that analyzation. Listen, you know, get to these next callers, man. I'm doing my job. I'm at work, man. I love you guys. Keep doing your thing, man. And I'll see y'all later, man. I'm gonna do my job. I do every day. Yes, sir.
Man. Yes, sir. Love is love. You already know.
For sure, Ty King. I love for sure, family.
Hey, Callie, what's your thoughts on that, Callie?
Well, you know, so I'll give Errol Spence this, man. You know, for reality, we talked about the Mikey Garcia fight. Mikey Garcia fight really won a big fight. He won a fight that there was really a real threat, which Errol Spence won't tell you, but Errol Spence knew that Shawn Porter was a good fighter. And he was in a tough fight. This was his first really big fight that was also a tough fight. So I'll give him a pass for that. I'll say that it's a learning lesson, and I think he'll be better the next time. But as far as that fight went, like I told you guys, man, I do think Errol can get better, but for everybody to think that Errol Spence didn't want to box, he tried to. Shawn-Porter didn't allow him to box. He took that away from him. So it's a situation you got to give Shawn-Porter credit, man. It was a tough fight. It was a close fight. But yeah, Errol Spence Jr. Man, I know people saying that Errol Spence wasn't sharp. I think Errol Spence wasn't sharp because I think Shawn-Porter had a lot to do with that. I truly do. But yeah, he should have followed up with the right hand, man. Shawn-Porter was off balance, man. He hit him with the left hand. Well, hit him with the left hook. Should have followed up with the right hand, man. It was right there. He was off balance. He couldn't protect himself. You got to clean up, bro. You got to clean that up, man. You got to follow up that, man. Potentially, the cleanup shot could be the most devastating shot. Just like when Wilder hit Fury with the right hand left hook combo, man. That cleanup left hook was beautiful. So you always want to clean up, man.
Exactly.
Clean up. We have an opportunity to.
Exactly. Let's get to this caller. What's your name? Where you calling from, bro?
Talib Cunningham calling from South Carolina.
Oh, we got the brother Talib Cunningham on the line. What's good with you, bro?
How you doing, my brother? How's the cat, man? Everybody good?
Yeah. You already know, man.
Yeah, man. I was addicted to you, man. You my man. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, King. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. No doubt, man. But far as this boxing, man, like what the brother was saying, what Kurt was saying earlier, man, about about Charlo. I mean, me personally, if I was Charlo, I'd just take my time, man, and keep beating up the guys that they put in front of you. But I mean, at the same time, man, he couldn't throw them like curveballs. Because these guys don't want to fight them, and I don't understand why they can't make the Boo Boo Andre fight with him. Because Boo Boo ain't fighting nobody either.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree,
I'm
bro.
just trying to figure out, but I mean, I really do not want Charlo to go out of his comfort zone because it's big fight. Because I mean, me personally, I think Charlo would be dominant at 168. He'd get bigger names, he'd get bigger fighters, but at the same time, it's like, why should he have to do that?
Right.
But I understand how the game goes. I know the game. You know what I'm saying? I definitely understand how the game goes. But I mean, at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. You and yours. So if I was Charlo, I'd just keep beating up these bombs at 160, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sooner or later, when you're looking at the 40 and old with 30 knockouts, somebody gonna want to fight you. They don't have no choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think in my personal opinion, I just feel like he needs to assert himself a little more. Show up to the fights. What you got? What you got to lose? Yeah, what you got to lose at this point? You know what I'm saying? What you think, Kurt?
Like everybody, I didn't cut you off, but like everybody giving him this out because his brother lost when he fought Cornball. But I'm like, dude, you should have stopped Cornball. Everybody know that. You should have stopped Cornball. You should have stopped Cornball and turned around. Mm-hmm. No disrespect to Cornball, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you came back out and fought Brandon Adams, good fighter, guy came to win. He didn't come to lay down. I understand that, but to separate yourself from, the pack and let everybody know that you the man at 160, you got to stop them guys.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make an example out of them guys. You know how it is.
Yep, I agree. What you think about that, Kurt?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I want him to stay more active, man. Charlo should be fighting 3 times a year at least, man, and fight somebody of relevance. And Andrade, even though, Andrade's the zone, man, but you got to be more vocal, man, and call out people. Ain't it weird how he was calling out Canelo, calling him red top and all that, and carrot top and all that, and he's just quiet, So I wonder, somebody giving him hush money, man. I don't understand it. He's quiet as a church, man.
You can already see it. You can already see somebody calming him down for some kind of, I don't know what it is, but I mean, even you can see his level of temperature on change, even dealing with Canelo. I mean, now he was Canelo. Now he's like, I wish I could fight Canelo now. Come on, dude.
His attitude and temperament has changed. But it's weird because they're emotional guys. So you expect them to be more vocal and loud. Danny Jacobs is fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I heard December 13th. So he's booked. I mean, I don't know, man. He's a man without an island, man, but he's very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he said it. This is what he said. I remember he said, look, man,
Oh, you asking me? Okay.
No. Not you, Talib. I think Callie just had a. Callie, you still there? Callie, you still there, bro? Hey, Talib, we're going to answer your question, but we're going to get to the next caller, all right, bro?
Yes, sir. Well, this starts out to the LGBT. Just happy to be here talking to my man, Bluebird.
Yes, sir.
I'll be in the check.
I appreciate you, King.
We do know.
Yes, sir. See you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Blue Blood, what's going on with you, homie? This is B calling from Baltimore.
Salute. What's shaking with you, bro?
Hey, shit, man. At the house with the kids, you know what I mean? Getting on my nerves.
That's how it goes. Man. That's how it is, bro.
Grown man shit.
Facts.
But yeah, man. Hey, look, man. First before I start, man, it's not gonna be long, but I want to thank you guys because you and Callie. Because both of y'all, man, and from what I've been looking at a lot of videos, bro, before this fight even happened. Both of y'all kept it real. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Both of y'all was going for Spence. Cool. You know what I mean? Like, y'all still gave Porter his props. Y'all like, look, it's tough. I got Spence edging it out, but it's tough. A lot of other guys, they like, oh, fuck no. Man, Spence going to bulldoze Porter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not giving Porter anything. And I'm like, bro, what the hell is going on?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is y'all going to sit here and ignore Porter like he's Ocampo or something?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
and that kind of pissed me off because I'm like, dog, like, a lot of you guys ain't boxing fans, but y'all kept it real. Y'all have a lot of knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, y'all not no bandwagon dudes. You know what I mean? So I want to thank y'all for that, man, because it's good to hear real shit. Excuse my French. You know what I mean?
No, man, it's all good, man. Because I mean, I got a chance to see Shawn Porter fight Ugas live, and like I said, the first thing that popped out for me, that really stood out for me with Shawn Porter was his speed and athleticism. Like I said, if he played football, man, his spark rating would be high. He's just a tremendous athlete, and I told people this, and this is what I stated, and I don't know why it pissed people off, but I said Shawn Porter is a better athlete than Errol Spence. Between the two of them, he's a better athlete. It's not saying he's a better boxer. I'm saying he's a better athlete, and it showed in his fight, man. He's a superior athlete to Errol Spence. Errol Spence is never going to be a better athlete. He's a better, more technical boxer, but he's never going to be a better athlete to Shawn Porter. I believe that Shawn Porter's athleticism, his strength, and his absolute speed and agility gave Errol Spence a ton of problems. And something that I brought up right before the fight, I mentioned it on Saturday right before the fight. When I did that ticket giveaway, I told people, man, I said, man, I believe that Errol Spence, I believe that Shawn Porter, his speed and his agility, his athleticism, man, give Errol some problems, man. And it turned out to be the case. And I think just believe that Shawn Porter is going to continue to give everyone problems because he's a freak. His athleticism, until it slows down, that's also a reason, not just his determination and his grit, but his absolutely athleticism that goes along with that grit, that heart, and that determination, man, is a problem, man. He's a special athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You know, people don't like to hear the truth, man. You know, that's society today, you know, keeps people from the truth, man. I always say that, man. But Kurt, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, hold on, Blue, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, repeat that. I'm sorry. I'm going in and out.
You gotta repeat yourself, bro. What you said?
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say, you know what I mean? Like I've been going around, you know what I mean, criticizing Spence. But see, when I criticize Spence, I don't criticize him. Like I critique like some of his boxing skills, but a lot of people be calling that hating. And for real, it's not. I'm not hating on Spence. I'm hating his hype. You know what I mean? Because he's getting a lot of hype for no fucking reason, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I just gotta be frank. Like, I don't see where the hype is coming from. You know what I mean? But I kind of know because I think it probably came from when he sparred Mayweather. A lot of people kept their eyes on him, like, oh snap, okay, this the guy that gave Floyd Mayweather problems in the gym. So everybody like really paid a lot of attention to him, but they gave him like this invincibility status, like he could just mow through everybody, every elite 147 pounder. And you know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody does that.
I think, momentum and height gets mixed up. It's a thin line between momentum and height. Errol Spence has a lot of momentum, and he had that momentum ever since he Kell Bro, going back to going back to Mayweather. So there was, when you get a buzz about a fighter, it looks like height to the naked eye, but it's momentum. He had a 12-fight knockout streak. He won every round against a 3-time world champion, Mikey Garcia. He's the unified welterweight champion. He's undefeated, so his star is bright. But you got to remember something. He's in Texas, a fighting state, a fighting town. He has the Dallas Cowboys behind him. So you see what I'm saying? Everything, he has a lot of momentum going for him, a lot of upside. And it's hard for a fighter to go undefeated because soon as Spence loses, people's going to call him overrated. He's not. Spence is number 4 my top 10 pound for pound. He's a damn good fighter. He's really good. He showed a lot of heart. I picked Spence by 8th round TKO. I made not underestimated Porter, but over underestimated Spence, like Spence did himself. But it's just like him, Deontay Wilder are the 2 hottest fighters in boxing, and people say Wilder's overhyped, but they just have a lot of momentum. Their name brand.
Mm-hmm.
But can we start against a lot of that started too when he started getting ducked, too. So that's where his aura and his momentum really built from not getting the fights, and fans started getting frustrated because people wanted to see the fights. Errol wasn't this big. He really got big for people ducking him. That's where and then he kept winning. He kept winning. He kept getting ducked. He kept winning. He kept getting knockouts, and that's where his momentum came from. So I'm not upset. And Errol Spence is not overrated. He's a great fighter. Shawn Porter's a great fighter, man. And I hear people saying that Errol Spence Jr. is not that good now because he struggled with Shawn Porter. Who the hell's dominated Shawn Porter? No one's dominated Shawn Porter. Everybody in their mama has went life and death with Shawn Porter. Everybody. Shawn Porter, in my opinion, should have got the victory over Keith Thurman. Shawn Porter had close fights with Kell Brook. He had a close fights with Danny Garcia. Those fighters that he fought, Danny Garcia is a good fighter. Kell Brook's a good fighter. Errol Spence is a good fighter. Keith Thurman's a good fighter. Those fights, he fought those dudes. And so Shawn Porter Shawn Porter has a wealth of experience against upper level competition. So seeing Errol Spence is not going to be something that he wouldn't be ready for. He's already dealt with and already fought. And when you competition that Shawn Porter fought, that's why I told people he wasn't going to be intimidated going into the fight by Errol Spence. He's already fought elite competition multiple times and performed well in those fights.
Yep. Well, Carlo, man, we're gonna have to wrap it up right now, bro. We appreciate you calling in, bro.
Y'all take care, man.
You too, my brother. Yes, sir. Don't be a stranger, man.
I know.
All right. So listen, man, we started off a little bit late, man. We had a special guest on. Tomorrow we're gonna have another special guest on. And we're gonna make it do what it do here on this show, man. The General 7A Sports TV will be coming on in a few minutes if he's not already coming on right now. It's 8:01. So I'm gonna get some last words from my brother, the Cali Enigma Sports and Entertainment, before we get out of here. Cali, go ahead and cook, brother.
Oh man, thanks for letting me come on, man. I wish I'd have came on earlier. Like I said, I was caught up in the Amber Geiger case, man. So I'm just gonna say justice somewhat. We got to make sure we see what the sentencing is first. That's a whole other subject. But man, I appreciate you for letting me come on, man. Boxing is in a good place, even though there's some frustration, man. Hopefully Bud Crawford will and put himself in position to get those fights. Look, man, I understand some people being frustrated. There's people that are mad at PBC. And like I said, I used to be one of those guys, and I'm getting ready to wrap this up. Guys who said that Bud Crawford can go stay where he wants to fight, but Top Rank has completely disrespected this dude. ESPN has disrespected this dude, and I can't get past the part that they put Errol Spence Jr. over him. They don't do stuff like that to Vasil Lomachenko. They're not putting no fighters up with Lomachenko. They're not putting you know what I'm saying? They only disrespect They're only disrespecting Terrence Crawford, man. That's what they're disrespecting. The brother, the best fighter on that outfit, on that platform. So with that being said, I understand people want PBC to promote Bud. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna promote their own fighters. They're gonna make money off their own guys. Bud Crawford, go over there and go get that smoke, man. You just as good as them dudes. You may be better. I don't know, but I would love to find out, man. But once again, Kurt, Blue, man, I appreciate you, brothers, and everybody in the chat room. Shouts out to the Lions Den box community, the LWC, you guys. Salute.
Salute to my peoples, man. Go ahead, Kurt. Kurt Sugar, aka Kurt Anderson, aka the historian, my co-host. What's good? Go ahead, close us out, Kurt.
Oh man, great show, man. Salute to Cali for coming on, man. And you know, Blue's always on the front lines, a legend already in this game, man. And thanks for the chat for sharing your time, man. And I love sharing my knowledge. I'm still learning, man. I learn from everybody. I like to get people's opinions, man. And you know, we monopolize this thing on YouTube, the LDBC Strong, man. United we stand, divided we fall. Before I go, I want to say, hey, man, go to Legendary Top Cat. Support the brother, man. You know, he's putting out great content. Scrapbook Boxing got a special edition coming up, man, with all the fighters, man. You know, go and subscribe to Scrapbook Boxing and Legendary Top Cats, man. Go support them brothers. They putting out great work. Hey, great live stream today. Like always, it's the norm. We got some great guests, special guests, man, and great surprises, man. I want to say salute. Everybody enjoy your Tuesday evening. Peace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Roll. Make sure you like and share these videos. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And like my brother Kurt Anderson just said, subscribe to my brother Legendary Top Cats, man. Click on his icon and subscribe to his channel, man. That's my brother right there, man. He resides in Texas, but he Harlem through and through, man. So subscribe to my brother and subscribe to my brother's Scrapbook, man. Word up, man. They got great content. Go subscribe to their channel. Go check out their content, man. But y'all know what it is, man. Right now, go over to the General 7A Sports TV channel. Check out the show right now, man. So go over to the General 7A Sports TV channel and check out the General 7A Sports TV. Y'all know what it is. Your boy Blue. We gone, man. Peace.
Peace.